Good to see you guys.
Cheers.
What do you guys love most about Bangalore being hometown?
Yeah, like you said, first of all, it's hometown. We grew up here, not too far from here, in fact. Local boys studied close to each other and all of that. But apart from that, the people,
People are best.
the energy, the like-minded vibe that all of us have in a sense, which is around which the local is built.
But we love our customers for that. You know?
We've had a Holy Communion here. We've had a couple of engagement parties here. Kids' birthday party
birthday
here.
party.
That's
The
quite a few.
christening's been
That was
more
an
than one.
excuse.
Yeah.
For the parents.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm taking this package order. How many adults and how many kids?
Yeah.
It's like 2 kids, 42 adults. So cocktails are important.
How many bars or pubs can you imagine that hosts Holy Communion after party or a christening
So guess
family
who
party?
asked for after the ceremony was over, guess who asked for the drinks first?
I know. I really wanted to guess.
The priest.
Oh,
for
proposals
marriage,
here.
A lot of
Yes.
proposals here. Yeah. I'm not suggesting anything. People actually have that connect that they'd like to have that special day or that special event here.
You guys were classmates, no?
Yeah. 11th and 12th together.
Yeah,
That's where it all started. Huh? Funny thing is, we actually spoke about opening a place in 11th and 12th. Strangely enough, right?
Yeah,
My God.
right back then. And we caught ourselves walking into a bar and then we became friends.
It's like 2 guys walked into a bar. And then this is what happens, right? Oh, it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When things got really serious and say, okay, we've been out sailing, we've seen a little bit, we've sort of amassed enough number of ideas. We felt 5
More
years
often than
ago.
not, you're always waiting for the right moment and you think you're going to get a sign, but probably not.
Yep.
And like they say, anything that needs to be done needs to be written down on paper first. So when the yellow sheet of paper came out, then it got serious.
Once the paper came out, yeah. I think the local was one of the first names
First
that
names.
we thought about.
And there wasn't
And we
any
kept coming up
need.
with names, but we kept going back to the local. It just felt right for the kind of place that we wanted, the kind of community to be built.
The kind of food we were planning to serve.
So in those 5 years, what would you say is if you had to put it as a success metric, what would you consider that to be?
So many, but well, okay, maybe one thing you can say is if you have the same verve and the energy and the thought process that went before opening the place, and if you manage to keep it and amplify it while you're running the place, I think that's, and not change it and not lose focus on it. So if you, and plus hands-on experience and involvement
I suppose hands-on plays a big
has
part.
I think that's been one of the
From day
greatest.
one, either one of us or both of us almost every day have been here every day for many hours.
We made cocktails, we cooked at the kitchen, we've served to the customers.
You're bartender by design anyway.
Yeah, partly not officially trained, but yeah.
He's a specialist mixologist, is what we like to call him.
So what if you had to concise it in all those years of planning and discussions, what would you define local as in those 3 words if you had?
I would say community, familiar,
Being familiar, yeah.
and a go-to place. Favorite.
A cozy comfort factor in a sense.
Yeah.
Almost everybody who's walked in here has said something familiar, something old Bangalore,
It's true.
something cozy about the place.
Is there a lot of sacrifice?
Yeah,
A lot of beer drinking.
Nevertheless, it's
Thank you.
Like it.
in terms of time spent on yourself or your family or leisure, you take a bit of a hit, but then if you're enjoying what you're doing, I mean, every day is a holiday, right?
I think the first outlet that we ever installed is with you guys.
It's that was a great moment for us. That was a great,
It was the
humbling
first
moment
place
for
we
us.
ever actually installed guys in Bangalore was you guys. What does Geist mean to you guys?
Yes.
We were fans of the Geist bottle beer
Bottle
that
back
came
in the
with
day,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
We had it on our first menu as well.
I know. I
Yeah.
remember
The very
that.
first menu had those bottles. I have a set of those bottles at home. There was
So
this,
actually, yeah, that's when our Geist Association has since started.
Yes.
4.5 years ago.
Correct.
When we had it on bottle, and that's when we started. And of course, Geist coming on tap was great. And I mean, the whole localness,
kind of made up for the absence. It wasn't there.
localness
couple of
factor
years
also
ago.
helped somewhere at the back of the mind, I suppose. Bangalore beer,
Bangalore brand.
Bangalore boys, all of that in a sense. And of course, Geist beer itself is so good, so drinkable. All 3 varieties, right?
What's your favorite?
Mine is Weiss Guy.
You
Is
and
it
me know.
Dunkel?
You and me know.
I mean,
Let's dunkel it.
Weiss Guy, I mean, shit.
So yeah, you guys have been drinking for the last week. We've already known and established by now.
Very well. So,
So you're one of your favorite beer-related memories.
well, so many, hence the conundrum. So I came to Aberdeen to
Just to
catch
meet
up with
me there.
So it was one such place that we ended up going to one of those old men's bars, been open for 200 years or perhaps more. And while we were talking, we got talking to some locals.
That's where it starts.
That's where it
Like, I
starts.
buy you one beer, you buy me one beer. And then you're from India. I know a Pakistani.
Stuff. I love Indian
And when
food.
he says Taj
and
Mahal,
things
he
like
means that small Indian restaurant around the corner. That's what he means. But I don't remember much of the night. Of course, I remember the hangover the next day.
And so their idea was to make us have one pint of all the expressions, all the variants, which if I remember correctly was about 12 or 14 taps. It was pretty bad. Okay,
So he
actually,
ended up back on my ship instead of going
I
back.
don't know. I don't know, and we still can't figure out.
No harm, 2 chief engineers on board. It's good. No, but thanks a lot, guys. I mean, it's good to spend time after so long, especially in the afternoon. It's been
Thank
very
you,
long.
Sid.
Ricky is the best, man.
Yeah, it is.
Happy hours. They don't call it happy hours for nothing,
Nothing,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Very happy us right now.
Fantastic.
Cheers, Sandeep.
Thanks, cheers, man. Cheers.
Bye-bye.